This time we shall be looking at literature 003, which is poetry. And I'll be looking at the non-African poetry this time, titled A Cry for Africa by David Diop. It's a deep poem that talks about Africa as a continent, and David Diop rather, was an African poet known for writing against colonialism and for celebrating Africa identity and heritage. I will read the poem briefly and we shall discuss few things on this poem, then leave you with an exercise that will make you to study more on this poem. It's very important. Please, the essence of this is not to spoon feed you as students, but to allow you to study more, and that is very important. So take the exercises after this class very serious. I'll take the poem like I said. Africa of proud warriors in ancestral savannas, Africa of whom my grandmother sings, on the banks of the distant river, I have never known you, but your blood flows in my veins, your beautiful black blood that irrigates the fields, the blood of your sweat, of your work, the work of your slavery. Africa, tell me, Africa, is this your back that is bent? This back that breaks under the weight of humiliation? This back trembling with red scars and saying yes to the whip under the midday sun. But a great voice answers the impetuous child that free, young, and strong. That tree over there, splendidly alone amidst white and faded flowers, that is your Africa springing up anew, springing up patiently, obstinately, whose fruits, bit by bit, acquires the bitter taste of liberty. Okay, in summary, this poem expresses the poet's deep love and emotional connection to Africa as a continent. Even though he was born far away from the continent, the poet, that is the writer of the poem, praises Africa's glorious past, describing it as a land of proud warriors and rich culture. He then laments the suffering Africa experienced under colonialism and slavery. Africa is portrayed as wounded, humiliated, and oppressed by foreign powers. The images of scars, whips, and hard labor reveal the pain Africans endured back in the days. Towards the end of the poem, the tone changes from sadness to hope. The poet believes Africa will rise again, like a strong tree growing patiently despite hardship. Freedom may come slowly and painfully, but Africa will eventually regain liberty and dignity. Let's look at some of the themes in this poem. Number one is colonialism and oppression. The poem condemns the exploitation and humiliation Africans suffered during colonial rule and slavery. Another important theme, African pride and identity. The poet proudly celebrates Africa's heritage, strength, and cultural roots. Number three theme of this poem is suffering and pain. We see in some lines of the poem where images of scars, sweat, labor, and the whip emphasizes the suffering of Africans. The fourth theme in this poem talks about hope and freedom. Despite oppression, the poem ends with hope that Africa will rise again and gain liberty. Another theme is patriotism and love for Africa. Patriotism and love for Africa. The poet shows emotional attachment and loyalty to Africa, even though he has never lived in the land. Then the last but not the least is resilience. Africa is presented as strong and enduring, capable of surviving hardship and rebuilding itself. I would have loved to discuss literary devices used in this poem, but I want to leave that to you as an assignment. Please take time to research the literary devices used in this poem. I have seen in the poem personification, imagery, symbolism, repetition, and metaphor. Please find them out in this poem. Point them out in different lines of this poem. Personification, imagery, symbolism, metaphor, and repetition. Identify them in the lines of this poem and discuss them briefly. And lastly, you have a quiz that comes after this. Please answer those quiz, and I'll see you in the comment section. God bless you.
Quiz.